Welcome back, peeps. Thank you for tuning in to the Bandit Bros channel, where we're always taking a look at the newest tips and tricks in the Call of Duty universe. And in today's video, we're going to be putting to the test if the SUSAT Multizoom, as we can see right here, does it actually reduce recoil? Now, we've seen a lot of videos of this on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you want it. Now, there's some people that have been doing videos on this, testing that it doesn't actually give you less recoil. But I wanted to do a video on this because I really felt that the SUSAT just gives you absolutely no recoil. That's from my testing when I changed out the gun. So we're going to take a look if it's just the visual recoil aspect of it, or does it actually give you no recoil. So we're going to be testing it against the Ironside version. We're going to be testing against it 2 times and the 3 times, which are the more popular scopes that people like to choose in the Cold War universe. So with that being said, if you guys do enjoy this kind of video, remember to like and subscribe and turn that notification bell on. It deeply helps me out. And as well, special thanks to all my YouTube members who give a little bit extra and support my channel. And with that being said, let's jump right into this video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so let's start off with the first test. We're going to be doing 15-meter test because it's a pretty decent length here. So again, we got the Ironside versions. None of these weapons have any extra attachments except the scope on them. So let's go ahead and test it out. I'm going to go ahead and shoot the first one. We're going to do 2 sets of recoil patterns just because sometimes they can be a little bit different from each other. I'm going to go with the right one. As you guys can see, pretty similar recoil pattern. Now let's go ahead and change to the SUSAT Multizoom. Let's go ahead and take a look. 15 and blast off. We're also going to compare the SUSAT versus the so a little bit different recoil pattern then, but it does seem that it was just one of the variations of them. Let's go ahead and test it out against the next one, and let's take that mark. And as you guys can see, basically exactly the same. We did have a little bit less recoil pattern, it seems like, from the first one. But again, that's just probably the variations from the gun. So as far as this one goes, it is exactly the same. So next one that we're going to be using is against the 3 times scope. All right. Sorry. Yeah, 3 times scope. Let's jump right into that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a little confusion there. We're going with the 2 times and then the 3 times. So let's go ahead and test the 2 times first. And we're gonna go 15 meters. At the end, we're gonna see if the if it's just visual recoil, then we're gonna try and control the recoil to see if maybe that actually affects it a little bit. Sometimes maybe the visual aspect of it might affect it. We got the first recoil pattern right there, as we can see, basically exactly the same. So I did a low zoom test on this one, on all the 1x guns and 1x scopes, and honestly, they do look about the same. We already have the recoil patterns here for the SUSAT, and as you guys can see, they are basically exactly the same. I mean, no real difference here. And we're just gonna test it out with the 3 times for the last one, and just to confirm that none of these actually give you anything else. So let's go ahead and do that 3 times one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we got the final one, the 3 times scope. And again, we're just going to blast off here just to make sure about this. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one. 3 times does seem to have a little bit more visual recoil. That's what I've been noticing a lot with the 3 times. Since it's a little bit more zoomed in, you get to see the shots and the shaking a little bit more compared to all the other scopes. And so you guys can see basically exactly the same. The horizontal one's a little bit different sometimes, but the vertical recoil is exactly the same. Now let me just go kill these enemies and then jump back into this video. All right, so one of the final tests that we're going to be doing is just the zoom version compared to the non-zoom version. So let's go ahead and jump in the 15-meter test right here and do it really quick. This is the non-zoom version. Man, this just, I don't know what it is, but this just really seems like it has no recoil on it. Like, again, we just noticed that it is the visual recoil, but let's go ahead and jump to the side and let's go ahead and zoom in on this one. And I mean, look at that just seems like it has a lot more recoil, but it's exactly the same. So it's just the visual aspect of it. Now the visual aspect does help. If you feel that the weapon is moving that much, you might try to adjust your weapon a little bit more than you actually have to. So visual aspect might actually be pretty good. Now the one last thing that we're going to be testing is just the aiming stability. So when you're aiming with your gun, oh fuck me, bro. All right, before we get attacked by more people, so we're just going to test the aiming stability. 3 times is the more popular one, so this is the one we're going to be testing again. So if I aim at that little red square and then stop trying to control my aim, as you can see, it does have a little bit fair bit of aiming stability. Moves quite a bit. Now, if we change to the SUSAT, move here, and then stop aiming, as you can see, it's basically the same. It's just the aiming stability just seems like it's a little bit more with the 3 times. Just because it's a little bit more zoomed in. So let's take a look and try to control the recoil, and then let's see if the visual aspect of it actually affects the recoil part of it. So we're gonna be at 30 meters and we're gonna try to control the recoil here. This is with the 3 times. Try to control it once and I'll shoot one above it. And again, this is just me trying to control the recoil. Now let's go ahead with the SUSAT and let's go ahead and take a look at that. It just feels less, but I think, yeah, even with the visual aspect of it, I think recoil is exactly the same. As you guys can see here, both, I mean, basically the same. Actually, 3 times was a little bit more circular motion, but they are both exactly the same. Whether it be not trying to control the recoil, trying to control the recoil, this is all just visual parts of the scope. So definitely confirm here that the SUSAT does not give you any extra recoil advantage. Neither as the 2 times or the iron sights. None of those actually help with recoil. It's just basically a personal preference on whether you want the aim to aim a little bit more like the 3 times or like the SUSAT that has a 2 times scope on it. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Deeply appreciate it. Thank you to my man Fix It again here, trying to help me out with the videos, covering me from all these little rats trying to kill us. Peace out, everybody. I'll see you all in the next one. Well, hello there. I see you're still here, and because of that, you're gonna get a VIP tour of my brand spanking new website. Here you can check out if I'm streaming, or maybe donate some Benjamins if you want to support me a bit more. Most importantly, you can get your own anti-gulag merch right here. 100% guaranteed that you will not go into the gulag if you wear one of these. And finally, you can check out some of my COD videos and the top point makers on my stream. And now, with all that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.